Hi, this is Mr. Bledsoe, and in this video I'm going to show you how to multiply two decimal numbers. And as you'll see, it's almost exactly like multiplying non-decimal numbers, which you already know how to do. So here's the multiplication problem that we're going to do. 53 times 3.6. And notice that we can rewrite 53 times 3.6. We can rewrite this expression to look like this. 53 times, and I'm just going to rewrite 3.6 as 36 times 0.1. So all we have to do to multiply 53 times 3.6 is just multiply 53 times 36 and then multiply our answer times 0.1, which just means moving the decimal point one place to the left. So let's do that. 53 times 36, I want to do this part first. So 53 times 36, I know how to do this multiplication. And remember, 53, we just think of that as 50 plus 3. 36, we think of that as 30 plus 6. And we use the distributive property to do our multiplications. So 6 times 3, 18. 6 times 50 is 300. 30 times 3 is 90. And 30 times 50 is 1500. Add all these together. 2, 8, 9. So 1,908. So 53 times 36 is 1,908. And then I want to multiply this times 0.1, which, as we recall, just means moving the decimal point one point over. And that's going to give me 190.8. So 53 times 3.6 equals 190.8. Now, the way you typically will see this multiplication done is you'll write the two numbers down. 53 times 3.6, multiplication symbol and the line. And you write the numbers down, including any decimal points. And you basically just ignore the decimal points while you do the multiplication. Now, notice I'm not lining up the decimal points when I write down my two numbers like I would normally do if I were adding two numbers. Because again, I'm just going to ignore any decimal points while I'm multiplying anyway. Okay, so if I just ignore this decimal point in 3.6 and pretend like I'm multiplying 53 and 36, I would do it exactly like I just did it. I would get all these same numbers, 53 times 36, I would get all of these exact same numbers. I'd get 18, I'd get 300, I'd get 90, I'd get 1500. Because remember, I'm ignoring the decimal point. And then I would add them up, again, just like I did before. I'd get 1,908 when I add them up. And then, when I have my answer, I ask myself, how many decimal places do I have in my original numbers? Or, how many digits do I have behind any decimal points? And since in this case, my answer is 1, I just have this one digit behind a decimal point, then I'm going to move my decimal point one place to the left in my answer, and again, 190.8. Now, what if both of my numbers are decimal numbers? Like, say, for example, 5.3 times 3.6. Well, again, I'm still going to do the same thing. I write down both numbers, and then I'm going to ignore the decimal points while I do my multiplication. And again, if I ignore the decimal points, then it's just like multiplying 53 times 36, which means I'm going to get exactly the same numbers as I did before. 18, 300, 90, 1500. I'm going to add them up. Again, I'm going to get 1,908. And then again, I ask, how many decimal places do I have in my original numbers? Or how many digits do I have behind any decimal points? And in this case, my answer is 2. I've got one number here behind a decimal point. I've got one number here behind a decimal point. And so I'm going to move my decimal point in my answer 2 places to the left. So it starts out here, move it 1 place to the left, move it 2 places to the left, and that means my final answer for this problem, 5.3 times 3.6 is 19.08.